What's up, fellas? This is Grim Grimes. Finally back on Let Loose. Reached out to you
Yo,
fellas this past week, challenging you to come up with your top five WrestleMania matches of all time. Y'all ready to get into this?
no doubt, no
Yeah,
question. 100%.
All
let's
right,
get it.
let's
Welcome
kick it
back.
off.
So number five, I got the three-way tag with Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, man, in that spectacular TLC match. Man, those guys was going at it, man. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Bro, they was going all off the top rope, man. That I believe Edge got speared
Uh,
and then
Ed-
didn't one.
Edge speared uh, Jeff Hardy, I think, off the
Edge
Oh
speared Jeff
yeah, that's
top
right.
Hardy
Yeah,
off of
yeah,
the
title.
yeah,
ladder.
yeah, he sure
Yeah.
Knocked
did.
himself out too,
He's holding
clean.
on to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, they was flipping off the top of the ladder, whatever, all the way down to the bottom of the ring, breaking ladders, man, in half, and all types of crazy junk, man, for real. And you know the Dudley Boys, man, they get down and dirty with that stuff. Devon and Bubba Ray, man, they ruthless. They ruthless with that shit, man. And that was one of the greatest freaking triple tag team threat matches I ever seen in my life, bro. I thought it was awesome, bro. They brought it all to the table and shoo, they laid it all on the line for that shit.
Number five for me is The Rock versus Hogan. WrestleMania 18, man. Icon versus icon. Rock versus Hogan. But the feud leading up to the match, y'all remember all that shit? It was heated, and the NWO was jumping The Rock and then put The Rock in the ambulance, and Hogan rams through it with a rig on the truck and all that shit. Then The Rock somehow the next week or two is able to perform in WrestleMania. It's amazing, but the match was insane. It was interesting. It was crazy to just see that live in person because, they're both generational superstars and both amongst the greatest in what they did, man. So seeing that, and me, I'm a big Rock fan, so Rock's in my top five. So yeah, bro. This match though,
Definitely.
there was everything to it. The crowd like they was going for Hogan and Rock. More so Hogan than
Mm-hmm.
Rock. But the way they were it was a pretty decent match, but I'm giving my top five matches. These are my top five favorite matches, not the top five greatest matches of all time to me.
Mm-hmm.
Top
Right.
five favorite. But yeah. And then remember after the Rock beat Hogan too, you had Rock and Hogan, they shook hands, and then the NWO came out. Hall and Nash came out and started jumping Hogan, and the Rock came back to the ring and helped him fight him off, and then so it was
Yeah.
like it was basically Hogan's face turn after that. So it was a good match
Mm-hmm.
though. I got that at five.
For my number
Grimes,
five, I have Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair.
that's a good
Okay.
match.
Storyline of the
Mm-hmm.
next time Rick loses, he's done.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Goes in there, fucking has an all-time classic with Shawn Michaels. Probably Shawn Michaels to me, the greatest in-ring performer of all time. And then you got the greatest wrestler of all time. Woo! In the ring together.
Both
Can't
of
beat
those
it.
are debatable.
Can't beat it.
That was a great. That was arguably Ric Flair's best match ever.
Oh, and the
I
ending with
mean, he
Shawn,
and
saying
he
I'm
gave it
sorry.
everything. Yep, love you.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
super kick, man.
Boom. Yep. Historic match, no doubt.
Number four, I got another triple threat with Cena, Big Show, and Edge. And that
Mm.
was a crazy match or whatever, because man, John Cena really showed his strength because he put Big Show and he put Edge on his back or whatever and hit him with the attitude adjustment, bro. Man, that was one of the greatest feats of strength I've ever seen in my life, man. And Cena, from that point on, man, I felt he was the face of the WWE. He was the king after that shit, bro.
Yeah, well, he went for the attitude adjustment. And then I think Edge slipped off, knocked him down, but then he scooped both of them right back up and then hit one of back to back. Boom, boom. But the amount of strength, the power, the display of all that weight on your back, dude, over
Mm-hmm.
almost
700
800
plus.
pounds.
Yeah,
What? I
right.
know. On your
Mm-hmm.
back.
It's
That's
crazy.
insane, man. John
Crazy.
Cena is one of the strongest wrestlers ever. He's
Yeah.
insane. He was
He's pretty
insane, man.
nuts.
I'll never forget that day.
Number four, keeping it on John Cena. I had to do Rock versus Cena at my number four,
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 28. But this was a great matchup that we waited like over a year long to see. And I really liked it because the back and forth they went, with John Cena being the Rock's bitch and Fruity Pebbles. And on the other side, you had the Rock's wrist notepads. And one of the funniest things I've ever seen. and an insult and a promo was when John Cena trolled The Rock. Remember, you know how John Cena has his little towels that he comes out with?
Hmm.
So he had one. It was either that or a shirt. And
Yeah.
you know how The Rock has that shirt, I bring it? That shit said, I
Right.
bring it. And then it said via satellite. He was getting at The Rock. And they actually, when they got face to face, they kind of went off script and they were heated about, certain shit. They was
Hmm.
testy exchange back and forth. You could just see it. They were kind of
Right.
talking over each other. There was some genuine dislike, even though they're working
Believe it.
together. But yeah,
Because
so
they're
that
both
was
trying to be at the top.
it was a pretty good match for the most part. I won't say greatest ever, but it was a pretty good match for the most part. And especially for, fans of The Rock more so than Cena's because you really wanted that win. You needed that win.
Hmm.
And despite the botched ending, because he botched the end of the last Rock Bottom, they had kind of to jump twice. It was kind of botched, but it was a good matchup overall. Good for the Rock fans. Good for
Hmm.
the Rock fans.
All right, my number four was your number five. Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18.
Hmm.
Just the whole crowd reaction for that match. Everybody went into it thinking the Rock's gonna get out cheered. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the face of the match, and for it to turn around and be the opposite, man, I
I
don't know.
know.
It was something special to see.
The Rock had a lot of cheers, but definitely a lot more was going for pulling for
Oh
Hogan.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
They wanted Hogan, and they were going nuts every time, especially when he was early on when they were doing the strength, you know, contest type shit where they push each other down. You know what I mean? To see who's
Hmm.
stronger. Dude, Hogan was pushing Rock down left and right, and
oh
he's
yeah,
flexing his muscles
Yeah.
and shit.
Hmm.
The crowd was
hulking
losing their
out.
shit, dude,
Yeah.
losing their shit, man.
See,
So
I'm not even a big Hulk Hogan fan, but you know
I'm not either.
that
You're not.
match it was something special to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
you didn't get
He
that.
a legendary status though, so it doesn't really matter, you know. He's
Yeah.
always gonna be that guy, for real. Like we grew up watching Hulk Hogan, man, take over everything. You
Yeah.
know, for my number three, I got Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, versus Razor Ramon in that
Ooh,
Intercontinental ladder match, bro.
before
That
my
was
time.
crazy, man. That was a crazy match, bro, because
I think that
Razor
was like
Ramon,
WWE's first ladder match, wasn't it?
I think so. So Razor Ramon was
Mhm.
up and comer or whatever. You know, he was the big shit talker.
The bad guy.
Man, for real, man. Greasy hair, this and that, with the toothpick, throw it at you. You know,
Yeah.
hey
R.I.P. Scott
man,
Hall, man. He was a
man, Scott
legend.
Hall, bro, for real, man. He brung it, man. He brung it to Shawn Michaels, and like I say, man, two talented people. But Razor Ramon was with WWE, I think before that. I think what he was WWE before or after?
He
He was
was
Uh-huh.
he was with WCW before as like the Diamond Stud or
okay.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he went back or whatever later.
Yep.
They all
Okay.
go back and forth, man. I don't remember
Right.
about Scott Hall, who he was with first. I know he was in both of them.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Ric Flair talked trash about that match once, said that Shawn Michaels had a 30-minute match against a ladder.
Hey,
Oh man.
man, Razor Braun that stuff though, man, for real. But you know, Shawn Michaels, like you say, one of the greatest of all times, bro, for real, man. He always gonna bring the flair, you know. And like I say, with that ladder, whatever, and not knowing how to use it, or knowing they can hurt them, knowing it could break their back or hurt something, cut them in half, they still, man, did that thing, bro, for real. So that's gonna be one that I always remember, bro. Razor Ramon, because he's one of my favorite NWO. He rose to the top, man, at the cream of the crop for me, bro. I feel like he's just as big as freaking any one of those other guys, man, that we always talk about, bro. I love Razor Ramon, and I definitely fuck with Shawn Michaels.
My number three would be The Undertaker versus Triple H at WrestleMania 28. I'm going WrestleMania 28 back-to-back picks, okay? So Triple H, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Shawn Michaels special guest referee. Yeah, I remember this. So in 4 years, Undertaker went through Shawn Michaels twice, went through Triple H twice, back to back to back to back, and he mopped the floor with all of them. So you have this back to back matchup here, and this win was beyond impressive for the Undertaker, but this match in general, because I believe it was in this one that Triple H didn't walk away from the year prior. That was the first match Undertaker didn't walk away from, but just all the emotions and everything, and Triple H gave it everything he had, and Remember Shawn Michaels hit Undertaker with sweet chin music, and then Triple H pedigreed him right after he kicked him, and Undertaker kicked out of that shit, bro. Like it was at that point in time, you
Crazy.
just knew that the Undertaker would never lose at WrestleMania. It's like there's no way they'll never let him take it. Somehow, yet he did years later, but still, that was insane. You remember Shawn Michaels' reaction as the referee in the corner just, bro, he was losing his shit. That was a good match, man.
Yeah,
Oh
end of
yeah.
an era.
It was, man. That was a really good match.
All right, my number three, WrestleMania 17, the TLC match, as Sam already brought up. Three of the greatest tag teams to ever do it, all in a ring together, tables, ladders, chairs.
What?
Man, you know,
Oh my.
there's something about wrestling back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Where when big stuff happened, you knew it because of all the flash photography, you know what I'm saying? All the
Right.
flash
Yeah.
bulbs going off. You know, it's not like that anymore. Like when Edge speared him off the ladder, all the fucking flash bulbs going off, it just made it seem more important, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It lights it up, man.
Uh,
It lights up the scene.
but yeah, that's my number three for greatest WrestleMania matches of all time.
So at number two, I got one of the first WrestleManias, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. So,
Really?
so that's the one that set everything off because nobody could pick up Andre the Giant. He was just too damn big. So he was just beating up everybody, man, just throughout the course of everything. So man, Hulk Hogan tried to get him, whatever, he couldn't get him. So you know how he get crunk up or whatever, man. He had
He
and got
hulks
his
up.
ass up, bro, and bammed his ass, bro. That's the biggest thing that you heard around the world, bro. Hulk Hogan picked up goddamn big ass, really 600 pound, but 500 pound Andre the Giant, bro. And that shit was crazy, bro, for real. Because if you see the size of this man, bro, like 7'5", 7 man, freaking fucking elephant, bro. It's like picking up an elephant, for real. And that man did that stuff, whatever, in the ring in front of all those people, bro, for real. He really set that shit off. It should be Hulkamania, but it's freaking WrestleMania. That's why they got the name from. You know what I'm saying? So from the beginning, bro, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Rest in peace, Andre.
Can I be honest with you?
What's that,
That match looked boring as hell, bro.
I'm
bro?
gonna say that it wasn't even the best match on the card. Savage
Hey,
Steamboat by far. I
hey,
mean, don't get me
hey.
wrong,
Look,
up there for iconic WrestleMania moment. You know what I mean? The slam,
Mhm.
important.
Right,
that
right.
was the
Match
only thing that
wise,
mattered in that
Very,
match.
I couldn't
very
get into it.
important. Very important, bro.
That was the
For
only
real.
important part of that match where he slammed him, bro.
Yeah.
What else with the leg drop? There's never been nothing
Hey,
impressive
that's
about the
it,
leg drop, man. Come on now.
bro.
But I
He
mean, we're
picked
talking about a Hulk
that man.
Hogan match. There's only so many moves he has.
Hey, that man picked. That man picked.
Five. You know?
Hey, that man picked up a goddamn rhinoceros. That's impressive.
It
When you
is.
when you when you 5, 6 years old, bro, that's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. No, I feel you on that.
Hell yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time, bro.
No, it's
But
all
hey,
good,
I'll
but I'm
say
just
this
letting you
though.
know.
John Cena could have did it, not bad at eye.
Shit, I doubt it. I don't know.
Bro, he put up 7 on the night nothing. Come on.
I
The
don't
number
know.
two best match of all time at WrestleMania, The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. WrestleMania 19, Stone Cold's last match ever as Stone Cold, and then he came back like a couple years ago, I think like 3 years ago, and had a match with Kevin Owens. But before
Right,
that, that was his last match. Then he had to retire due to his injury and all of
right,
that. But Hollywood Rock finally gets it done for the third time. Previously going 0 for 2 against Austin at WrestleMania. Great feud leading up to it. Two of the best in the business. Two of my favorite wrestlers ever. Two of the biggest stars WWE's ever had. And this matchup, dude, I remember the promos back in the day to this match was fire, man.
hmm
Fire. You had, I think the song was they used like a Creed song and different types of rock music like that back then, but the build up to this match was everything, dude.
right,
It was crazy. Took
right.
like what, three rock bottoms? Stone Cold was kicking out of rock bottoms. I think it was 3 or 4 rock bottoms he took that match, dude, and it was finally it. That's my number two all time. Rock versus Austin, man.
Hey, you talk about Hulk Hogan, but Stone Cold Steve Austin had probably like two more moves than goddamn Hulk Hogan.
Hey, that's only
He had
because
a
that's only
he
because
had a
Owen
lot
broke
more
his
than
neck.
Hulk
All right.
Hogan.
No, the hell he
Yeah.
didn't.
Before
Yes,
Owen
he
broke his
did.
neck, he was different. He was a
Definitely
different
did.
animal in the ring.
Nah, he was just more exciting. That's all it was. They right there. 1A and 1B. Straight up
It ain't
on the
that
move
bad.
sets. Yes, it
My
is.
number two is Shawn Michaels making an appearance on my list again. This time versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
Hmm.
Light
Really?
versus dark. He was
Hmm.
wearing the white ring gear. Undertaker's in his classic black. They're going back and forth. Put on an instant classic. I don't even know what the main event of WrestleMania 25 was.
I don't either. That was a
Hmm.
No
great
one
match,
does.
though.
You know what I'm saying? That's because this is one of those matches that it doesn't matter what came after it.
Right.
But and then the follow up, he wants to run it back the next year. Keeps getting told no. Has to put his career on the line. You know, this match
Yeah,
set up
dude.
2 years
Hmm.
of story. You know what I'm saying?
Undertaker's lucky he didn't get fucking paralyzed that match. That was the
Yeah,
match
from
he
the
dove
leap
out of
out
the
of the
ring.
ring.
Right.
Yeah. Landed on his
Yeah.
fucking neck, and HBK like pushed the ref out the way and pulled the cameraman, and the cameraman was supposed to be in a certain position that he wasn't in order
Yeah.
to help Undertaker break the fall, and the dive was a little off too. Yeah, and he came down right on his neck, man. He like
Uh,
blacked out after that, came back to it, and yeah, he was fucked up from that, man. That was brutal.
but one of the greatest matches of all time.
I agree.
Number one, I'm also go with the Undertaker, but the match that he lost his streak or whatever against Brock Lesnar
What at one?
Well,
at one, bro.
Are you
At
fucking
one,
serious? You put that as the
bro.
best WrestleMania match ever?
Yes, sir. Because everybody was in shock,
The
bro, that
best or
man
your
had
favorite? I'm
lost.
sorry. We're kind of off in the
My
the
favorite, my
okay,
favorite,
okay.
my favorite. Because I didn't want to see that stuff or whatever. But man, that motherfucker had to put him in like two or three F5s, bro. Like that man couldn't move, bro. I've never seen nobody do the Undertaker like that, man. That man was pretty much dead in the water, bro. Brock Lesnar would have had his number, man. Had to hit him with about two or three spears, couple F5s. Man, it was just too much for the Undertaker, bro. That was my number one, man. For real. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, man, when he broke the streak.
Dude, that match was bullshit, man. I mean, not because of the quality of the match, but because that the streak ended. That's something that should have never been broken. And
I thought so too.
he was so past like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't even want to
Because
go
he
there,
kept
but
on coming, he kept on coming back, kept coming back.
that
That was my
that's
man,
tough, man.
bro.
That's
I just
tough.
think the streak shouldn't have ended. Period.
No question. But I'm saying if you were to have somebody do it, Brock Lesnar has given a lot to the business, so I'm not going to totally discredit him in that regard. But still, man, they should have ended it. But yeah, that's rough for your number one, man. The streak that
The
fucking
streak, the streak,
ends,
bro.
really
Right.
unbelievable. My number one is Undertaker for Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26, bro. The follow-up match that you spoke on. The streak versus the career, man. Rematch like you reiterated, bro. And dude, you remember that moonsault that Shawn Michaels did on the turnbuckle and
Yeah.
Undertaker's on the announce table? Dude, gnarly shit. They did more in this match. They got more involved with the environment. Shawn Michaels was kicking out of tombstones, and it just took, and of course Undertaker's kicking out of Sweet Chin Music and anything else known to
Mm-hmm.
God at
Given.
that match that night, right? So Michaels was done for, and then he, taunts the dead man before he goes out, gets that final tombstone, and then he ends him. And that was the last match of Shawn Michaels' career. Until I think he came back too, didn't he? And had a match.
They all come back, yeah.
They all come back,
Saudi
right.
Arabia money gets thrown
Right,
around, they all
exactly.
That's
come
the
back.
moral of the story here,
My
kids.
number one match pits the excellence of execution. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Oh God, I'm asleep
Versus
already.
what?
What?
What? Stone
What?
Cold. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold WrestleMania
Hmm.
13. The
That's why they
classic
regarded
moment.
as one of the best.
Classic moment of it's a submission match. The special guest referee, Ken Shamrock, right? He's in the sharpshooter. He's refusing
What?
the tap, blood streaming down his face.
What?
Would rather pass out.
What?
You know what I'm saying? May the match turned Brett into a heel, Stone Cold into a face.
What?
And again, let me ask you guys a question. What was the main event of that WrestleMania? Because
Let
that
me tell
wasn't
you.
it. That match outshined it.
It's a good match. It's widely
Bro,
regarded as one of the best.
Oh, yeah. It,
I
it was
really,
a
I
toss
really,
up. It
go
was a
ahead.
toss up between that and another Brett match, but this one beat it. So,
That Shawn Michaels.
yeah, the Iron Man match. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The screw job, Montreal screw job.